Hello, my name's Janie Swords, and today I will be going over the life of Jacqueline Cochran, the woman who broke the speed of sound. So, today in this PowerPoint, we will be going over her childhood, her life in her early 20s, her time before the war, her time in the American Air Force, the formation of WASP, her life post-war, all her awards, and yeah. So, during her childhood, she was born with the name of Bessie Pittman. She was born on May 11th in 1906 and grew up in poverty with very little education. She married Robert Cochran at age 14 and got divorced in 1927 when she was only 21 years old. She then became a beautician and moved to New York. This is where she decided she wanted to reinvent herself, and this is where she renamed herself Jacqueline. So her life before the war was definitely a lot. And Jackie began flight lessons in 1932 and got her license in only 3 weeks. She soon mastered the art of aviation and navigation. This is when Jackie became obsessed with aviation and decided she wanted to start entering air races. In 1935, she entered the Bendix Transcontinental Air Race. In 1937, she came in third place. And then she did not quit. And then in 1938, she tried again and won flying the Seversky Pursuit. So now we're going to talk about her time in the American Air Force. So in 1941, Cochran piloted a bomber as flight captain in the British Air Transport Auxiliary. Jackie began sending proposals to expand the women's pilot program. In July of 1941, she sent a proposal to Robert Olds, which called for a squad of civilian women. And this was the first proposal that really got any attention from the Air Force. But in this proposal, she wanted the civilian woman pilots to do all aircraft ferry jobs. So in the spring of 1942, her proposal finally got approved. So this was basically the start of WASP. And so in the spring of 1942, Jackie and 25 other women went to England to join the Airport Transport Auxiliary. These women had 18-month contracts, but Jackie's was only 6 months. And that's because she was called back by the American Air Force because they had more important jobs for her to do. So she was called back in less than 6 months. And this is when she was named the director of WASP, which was in July of 1943, and began to recruit more women to join WASP, which stands for Women Air Force Service Pilots. But Jackie held interviews to make sure the program maintained a good image. Out of all these, so basically 1,830 were accepted to the program, but only 1,076 passed the training. Jackie was overall a huge contribution to the WASP program, and she basically built it from the ground up. So her life post-war was definitely not boring either. So in 1945, she was commissioned as a lieutenant colonel. In 1954, she wrote an autobiography with her husband named The Stars at Noon. From 1959 to 1963, she was the president of Fédération Aéronautique Nationale, which she was the first woman to ever do that. And then in 1969, she was promoted to colonel in the reserve. And then in 1970, Jackie retired the Army but remained a consultant for NASA. So now we're going to talk about basically all the awards she got throughout her life and records she broke too. So in 1945, she was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal. In 1953, she broke the sound barrier in an F-86. And she also set records for the 15, 100, 500 kilometer courses. In 1961, she hit an altitude of 55,253, and that was the highest altitude any woman has ever hit. In 1964, she set the women's speed record of 1,529 miles per hour. In 1965, she was inducted into the International Aerospace Hall of Fame. In 1971, she was inducted in the U.S. Aviation Hall of Fame. And then in 1994, after she passed, she was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. So thank you all so much for watching, and these are all my references if you want to pause to look at us. Bye, guys.